We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. It is the 8th day of November on this Tuesday global transmission against tyranny. I'm Alex Jones, your host. I have been attempting in vain for quite a long time to actually take a large amount of phone calls, but I'm going to cover some of the news headlines and then give the number out, and I will go to your calls throughout this hour. At the bottom of the hour, our frequent financial news contributor to track what's happening geopolitically and especially in Europe, Max Keiser will be popping in. We're working on another financial guest as well in the third hour today. Jesse Ventura could be on today or tomorrow. I called him this morning. Obviously, you heard him on air Friday say call him again over the weekend, that he'd come on this week and give us his full breakdown on the TSA situation that's coming to a head. But I did call him this morning so I could get a call anytime. So it could be today, tomorrow, you name it, so he could be popping in as well. But I do want to take your phone calls because obviously a lot is happening in the world. And I'm also settling in to not sleeping. I actually feel good. I guess it's my second wind. I didn't really sleep much for whatever reason Wednesday night. Then in the 27-hour broadcast, I slept about 3 hours on a couch. And then I went to East Texas with family. And one of my children was throwing up for whatever reason. Didn't have a fever, though, and was up much of the night. I didn't get much sleep then. Then the next night, my daughter, who has teeth coming in, had a toothache and was up crying all night, something she's never done before. While you're camping, remember that. I'm not complaining. It's just funny. And then I got back and finally got sleep Sunday night. And then last night was on Coast to Coast AM and was so sleepy before I went on the show. I drank a bunch of coffee. Then I couldn't go to bed. Went to bed at 5 a.m., couldn't sleep. Children woke up at 6:30, had an hour and a half of sleep. And I feel great, actually, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here because this is getting ridiculous. I mean, if I didn't have raccoon-looking eyes before, like Rahm Emanuel or something, big black joker circles around my eyes, I'm certainly going to have them if this continues. I mean, this is... That is an ugly-looking creature right there on your TV screen. Okay, that said, Max Keiser is coming up and joining us. Let's go ahead now and go over some of the news I have here in my stacks. ABC News is running the headline, Foreign policy experts agree with Ron Paul's foreign policy and say that the military expenditures are bankrupting us and paying for military occupation and forces in all these different wealthy nations is basically bankrupting our society. So we're going to be going over that report. Also, we are going to talk a little bit more. I keep saying I'll talk about it, and I covered it some last night, but I do have some comments I want to make about the Herman Cain situation and this first public accuser who reportedly now a month ago was seen whispering in his ear and hugging on him, according to the Sun-Times. And so we'll be looking at that and breaking that down. But quite frankly, the reason I'm going to talk about Cain is that whether it's true or not, Herman Cain should be politically unviable because of his support for the private Federal Reserve, his support for a new taxing system on top of what we've got, the 9999. There's another 9 they're not talking about, the payroll tax that all employees, business owners, you name it, pay. And, of course, Herman Cain has been caught lying and saying that Ron Paul, that's why this stuff may be true, because he with a straight face, looked at Ron Paul in the debate a few debates ago and said, how dare you say that I called Ron Paul supporters stupid and people that want to audit the Fed stupid? You're listening to that internet. You shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet. And then there was canned applause, basically. He got you, that internet. And Ron Paul looked at him, looked down on his notes, and looked back up with that owly look and said, we'll look into that. Now, obviously, it's in Cain's book, and there's all these audio clips of him saying it when he's hosting the Neil Bortz program and all the rest of it. So that's what's happening there. That's what's happening on that front. But I will later get into that a bit. Now, the larger issue is that is distracting right now from a war with Iran that will put the economy into an even deeper depression. but be a political distraction and political cover for those globalist puppets that are instituting this right as Europe implodes by design into the New World Order. We also have all over the country in the last 2 weeks, police announcing they're going to get tough with protesters. They're going to shoot you with rubber bullets in the face, as there's now videos coming out. They're going to tear gas you for no reason. They're going to billy club you if you have a camera, including mainstream media. They've gone from the darlings that government said, oh, here's the park for you. Let the unions bring you some pizzas. Here's some porta potties to go away. And that's because they thought this would be part of the Democratic Party re-election campaign 2012 as a way to rebrand the Democrats as anti-establishment. That didn't work, and so Occupy Wall Street is going to be getting a rubber bullet upside the head, their First Amendment. People are like, they're honoring the First Amendment. What's happening? Oh, Acorn is helping. George Soros is helping. Michael Moore is helping. Nancy Pelosi says they're great. Ben Bernanke says they're wonderful. Obama loves them. Goldman Sachs is loving them. Oh, they're calling for redistribution of wealth and communism to take the middle-class money and give it to the bankers. They tried to get Occupy Wall Street to go along with that. First, the Democratic Party Foundation operatives. No revolution is coming. It's important to define this. They put out the call months before it starts on this date in early October. Come out. It's the corruption of Wall Street, the big banks. Knowing a bunch of people across the political spectrum would show up, then the operatives go in and don't let patriots organize anything, saying no politics allowed, only collectivism. And Acorn's here to help. So, and you know, run in the fetters out, run Ron Paul supporters out. Don't talk about crony capitalism, insider elites using big government to control people. That's not allowed. So they tried to control it on record. Now it's admitted that they tried to take control of it and did to a certain extent, but it just didn't work. So now it's time for clobbering. And again, I'm against the attack on the First Amendment, and these police really are shameful across the country. People are like, wow, they're telling people, come on out, and the police are saying they're going to be there to provide you with security. It's friendly. All over the country, the word went out from the feds to their federalized local police departments that are nothing more than little prostitutes of the federal globalist Gestapo. You are honored. We appreciate you. So everybody who was scared to go out and protest the last decade, watching families with babies being pepper sprayed, billy clubbed for no reason, cops spraying pepper spray in Portland and other areas, point blank in babies' faces, and laughing, and if mama don't like it, billy club in the teeth. Ha ha! Because the message was, you don't come out and demonstrate. You understand us? You shut up, you scum. You have no First Amendment. And they hired Delta Force. All the major papers reported in Seattle in '99 was there running airplanes full of anarchist communists that they flew in. And they were, it's all in my film, The Takeover, police admitting it. They were ordered to let them loot, and then they were housed in a government building and protected by police. This is how they do it. But now it's like, you're our friends. Obama likes you. You want higher taxes to pay it in banker bailouts? Austerity? Come on. Come on, the October Revolution. Come on, the mega banks that funded Marx and Engels and then Lenin and then Stalin. Love you. Here's your communist armband. Oh, you're not going to do what we say? Officers open fire. And the cops are like, you better believe we're ready. Because they've been taught, the cops have been taught they're a bunch of communists because the globalists have basically spoken for them. So it's a left-right paradigm example where a lot of these cops, I've heard them on talk radio, run into them on the street, they're like, I can't wait to crack the heads of these dirty commies. Because they're listening to conservative talk radio that's telling them part of the truth, that, yeah, they're collectivists, they're anti-gun. A lot of cops are actually conservative, but in a twisted way. So they're like, I'm ready to rubber bullet these hippies. I'm sick and tired of these commies want my guns. I'll get them. They're not going to stop my deer hunting. See how that works? Meanwhile, it's a diverse group of people out there. Even if they were communists, they have their free speech, but most of them aren't. Again, it is a scientific psyop. It's like diamond cutters know how to just exactly slice off those pieces, and can do it by hand better than a machine can. The globalists know just exactly how to divide and conquer, just exactly how to control. So while all this is going on, here's the Washington Times. Police will get tough on Occupy D.C. protesters. And it's over for them. I mean, normally little kids try to protest not being able to sell lemonade and they get arrested or beat up. I mean, the D.C. police are there to let you know you're trash. I mean, they're famous for it. Officer, can you give me directions, please? Get up against the wall. Remember that case? I'm taking you to jail. Why? You don't disrespect me. Do I look like a phone book? But we're here with our family. We were here to visit the Capitol. Shut up! Okay, I mean, I've been there just videotaping the Washington Monument from 300 yards back, and security guards walk over. They go, get out of here. You need a permit. And I go, no, I've actually checked. There is no permits in this city. I was with a TV crew once with, was it C-Think? We go, the cops are coming. The cops come over and they go, you need to leave right now. I don't care if there's no law. Wearing black gloves. You do understand things are about to get real rough. Just like the private Federal Reserve goons with Aaron and Jacobson up at Kansas City. It made the Kansas City newspaper. And they're like a half mile away videotaping the Federal Reserve at a park. And Federal Reserve people show up with guns and just say, leave. And they go, but it's our First Amendment. They go, really? They put their hand on their guns. Really? Are you ready? Are you ready?